Thank you for your interest in emergency communication hubs. Let's find out what a hub is and how they are important to you. The Pacific Northwest is a beautiful part of the country. The mountains we enjoy were formed when the earth under our feet shifted. Because the earth is still shifting, Seattle is at risk for a very strong earthquake. If a major earthquake were to happen, police, fire, and ambulances would be quickly overwhelmed by all the people asking for help. Emergency workers can't help everyone, so we need to be ready to take care of ourselves. Seattle communities are organizing to make those first days and weeks less stressful for their neighbors. Let's learn more about these efforts and how they fit into Seattle's response plan. All over the world, after every disaster, neighbors gather together to help one another. Puerto Rico, Afghanistan, Japan, Seattle neighbors will do the same. After an earthquake, we will be concerned that something might fall on us during an aftershock, so we will gather in spaces that are open to the sky. Parks, community gardens, and even parking lots will become natural gathering places. The circles on this Seattle map indicate those logical gathering spots. We call these sites hubs. The hubs with solid centers have neighbors working together and organizing. The hubs with hollow centers are waiting on neighbors to get involved and get organized. At the organized hubs, neighbors have gathered equipment that would be useful to their community after a disaster. Their equipment is in unmarked metal boxes. Most of them are less than 3 feet tall and usually 4 foot wide. They fit easily in the back of a pickup truck. You will find boxes like these all over Seattle. Most of them hold rakes and shovels for park maintenance or sports equipment, and some are actually hub boxes. You can't tell the difference. As you see in this picture, the hub box has space for a folding table, a couple of chairs, signs, paperwork, a few tools, and other things to help neighbors communicate. The gear in the hub box is enough to get neighbors organized. It probably isn't everything they will need, but it's a great start. The hubs have two major missions. They gather and share information, and they match needs and resources. After a large earthquake, cell phones and the internet might not work, and we will probably lose power. It will be hard to find out what's going on and what to do to stay safe. Neighbors will come to the hub with information to share, so the box has supplies to capture and post what is going on in the community. This is information you might see posted at a hub. There's a downed power line across Rainier Avenue South and Henderson Street. Keep away. Or the Rite Aid Pharmacy will be open tomorrow from noon to 3. Bring your medicine bottle. Hub volunteers and ham radio operators work closely together. Ham radio operators will gather information from city officials such as boil your tap water for 1 minute before drinking, or the university bridge is closed to traffic. In addition to gathering and sharing information, Hub volunteers also match needs and resources. The Hub box has paperwork, so neighbors can write down what they need and what they have to share. Hub volunteers work to find matches between households. For example, this household needs a tarp to cover their cracked chimney. Another household has a tarp they aren't using. That's a match. This young family needs diapers. This household has extra diapers. That's a match. A neighbor who lost their puppy and a neighbor who found a puppy. That's a match. Sometimes it's not stuff that is needed. It's help doing something. This household needs plastic put over their broken window. This able-bodied neighbor can get on a ladder and secure plastic to keep out the rain. Neighbors helping neighbors. In addition to gathering information and matching needs and resources, hubs also have an area to organize the neighbors who want to help. Volunteers. Some will check on nursing homes to see if they need help. Medical personnel might be sent to help at a first aid station. Other neighbors will be asked to sweep up debris. Everyone has skills that will be useful after a disaster. Hubs also have an education area to help neighbors get their questions answered. We have large posters to take care of the more common questions. We also collect useful information such as a boil water order in multiple languages, or explaining the twin bucket toilet system, or how to handle downed power line. Hub volunteers have tried to think of questions people might have and print accurate information in the Hub box. Now that you have a better understanding of what the hubs do, let's look at how Seattle prepares for a disaster so you understand how the hubs fit in. This large pyramid shows the different levels of preparedness. The bottom level, the base of the pyramid, is your household. It's the biggest because that's where most of what you will need after a disaster needs to come from. Seattle does not have huge amounts of food and water stashed away to give out after a big disaster. Neighbors often assume the hub box contains food and water, and they're surprised when they see tables, paperwork, and posters. The city of Seattle asks that all households store enough food, water, and other necessities to take care of their needs for 2 weeks. That's the goal. Everyone prepared for 2 weeks of being on your own. However, the city understands that many households don't have the extra funds or the storage space to make that happen. So they ask that if your household can prepare, that you do so. We will cope with any disaster that comes our way, but it will be much easier if everyone has put aside what they can. The next level up on the preparedness pyramid is you and your neighbors. Whether those neighbors live on the floors above and below your apartment or they live up and down your street. No matter how well prepared your household is, all of us will need neighbors after a disaster. The nurse in the apartment upstairs might be able to clean your cut so it doesn't get infected. The person down the street might have the skill and the tools to help you keep the rain from coming in around your leaking window. Everyone has skills that will be useful after a disaster. Medical training would be great, but maybe you're good at cooking for a crowd or getting people organized, or you can keep kids calm and entertained. Maybe you can translate for someone or sit with a neighbor who is struggling with the shock of it all. We all have skills and we will need each other. The next level up in the preparedness pyramid is where the hubs fit in. Hubs are all about supporting their community. Hubs coordinate neighbors helping neighbors. The triangle at the top of the pyramid is the city of Seattle and all of its departments. Notice that it's the smallest of all the levels. City resources will be stretched very thin after a disaster. At any given time, there are about 200 firefighters and ambulance personnel on duty in Seattle, and there are more than 800,000 of us, plus tourists. The priority will be fighting fires, performing search and rescue, and treating the wounded in the areas hit hardest by the shaking. Depending on where you live, you may not see a first responder for some time while they are tied up taking care of those hit hardest by the disaster. Also, first responders can't work forever without rest, and the next shift might have trouble getting into the city if transportation is disrupted. A large earthquake could cause so much damage that no city would have enough resources or trained personnel to take care of everyone. We need to be able to take care of ourselves as much as possible so that rescue efforts can be directed to those most in need. So what can we do to be more self-sufficient? Get your household prepared and work with your immediate neighbors to prepare together. The city of Seattle has resources to help. Next, visit our website at www.seattleemergencyhubs.org. Find your local hub and reach out to the hub captain. Ask to be included on their email list. We practice regularly to make sure our system runs smoothly and to better understand how to handle the issues our communities might face. Everyone involved with the hubs is a volunteer, a neighbor just like you who understands the wisdom of taking steps to prepare before a disaster. Practicing with your local hub can be energizing, thought-provoking, fun, and very informative. Thank you for your time. You can contact us at info@seattleemergencyhubs.org and find more videos on our YouTube channel at Seattle Emergency Hubs. Don't hesitate, get involved. Thank you.